Hi guys, hope you're well, hope you have had a great Christmas period and welcome along to a 3 club challenge which was on Boxing Day. Something a little bit different that the club do, and so I just got involved with that. I opted for my gap wedge, which goes around 100 yards, my 8-iron, which goes around 150, and my 7-wood, which goes around 200 yards, which obviously means we do not have a putter for this round. So first up on this hole, we would normally take a 9-iron here, and I squeeze the 8-iron a bit out to the right, didn't really commit to the shot. Second up, we've got a gap wedge, which we haven't got a lot of landing room there, so perhaps the incorrect choice. We should have perhaps decided to go a bit further right. Bladed this gap wedge past the pin because I didn't have much room because of the fringe, and now we're putting with the 7-wood, and there it is as we tidy things up, the first Michael Doublé of the round. And to be honest, I wasn't really expecting to score too well on this particular day, just because of obviously only having 3 clubs at our disposal, but you never know, we could get some decent scores out there. I've been playing really well of late. So on the second, which is a par 4, we hit the 7-wood off the tee, and we've got around about 210, 215 to the centre of the green from here. It's a back flag, so we weren't ever really going to make it, especially having just wandered out the car without too much of a warm-up. But you know, you'll accept being so close to the green with that shot from that distance. Chip it on here with the gap wedge, and we've left ourselves quite a lot of work here with the par putt, or whatever you're going to call it, with a 7-wood. Trundle it on up there, and it wasn't a bad effort, if I'm being honest. Decentish line. I think if we'd have hit it, we might have got the par there. So we move on to hole 3, which again is a par 3 downhill, 161 yards off the markers. In the summer, usually we're off the mat here, and I would usually hit an 8-iron in these conditions anyway. So the right club for the job comes up just a tad short, and we've got the gap wedge out again here, just looking to bump it on up there. And unfortunately that was a bit of a duffer. Left ourselves plenty of work with the 7-wood again here. Again, not too bad an effort, but obviously a bit of loft on the club means that we are getting a bit of a jumper as well, so I need to take that into consideration over the course of the next few holes. Nice little putt there though, and we tidy it up for another bogey. So double, bogey, bogey. Can we improve on hole 4? 310 yards all uphill, so plays more like 350, 360 this hole. And I flared that one out right, just over the path, and unfortunately it has to happen. When I do a vlog, there's always got to be a shot missing, and that was the one in this particular instance. We took the 8-iron from that distance. We were up by the 150 marker, so we'd got sort of the right club in hand, but not quite enough juice. We end up just here short. Noticed that I walked up just to see how much landing room we got, and to be honest, I'm glad I did, because ordinarily I wouldn't have put quite as much on that shot. And I left myself with a easy tap in there for the first par on the scorecard. Very pleased with that. So 167 yards here, hole 5, again another par 3. Got a 7-wood in hand and thinking chippy 7-wood, because I don't think the 8-iron will actually get there. And that is a pretty ugly swing. They say there's no pictures on the scorecard, but unfortunately there's pictures, or at least moving pictures when you're recording like me. We've ended up just off the back edge here with the gap wedge. Again, not displeased with that effort. That'll leave us a shortish putt here with the 7-wood, which we roll in, and back-to-back pars, unbelievably. So this is where we cut back down to the lower side of the course. Hole 14 is the drop. You can just see the green down there in the distance. Normally this would be a 7-iron in these winter conditions for me, but obviously we don't have that at hand, so tried to force an 8-iron and we've ended up just a bit short here. Gap wedge in hand, and again this would normally be a 56 degree from here, and unfortunately not quite enough juice on that. Was kind of worried about, I think, blading it because we were on a bit of a downhill lie. So we've got the gap wedge again here, little bump in, nearly as it goes by the hole. I'm got a bit excited there. Fortunately, just a little bit left with that 7 wood, and we'd tap it in for another Michael Doublé. Beginning to really enjoy this hole. It is normally a 7 wood for me here, this particular hole. I can force the 9 wood there when we're playing with that one, but this was bang on for this particular day and the weather conditions. Got ourselves up onto the green, but quite a long range putt uphill. So I did give it plenty of beans and unfortunately went quite a way past. And that leaves us with another putt. Again, really hit that one too hard. And can you believe it? Hits the green, but the ball is too good for its home, and it's another Michael Doublé on the card. Bit of a strange camera angle here, fortunately for this one, but we had somebody behind us, so didn't want to hold them up too much by setting up the camera, etc. So we've just taken it from the bag shot. Gap wedge here again would normally be a 56 from this sort of range. I'd got about 65, 70 to the pin from here. You see the weather because of the way the camera's shaking, but it was sunny, Boxing Day, and we've got this glorious weather. It was about 10 degrees, I'd say. Obviously no coat on, and that is a great putt from up there. To be honest, I'm thinking that maybe I should take my 7 wood more often as a putter, as we put out for another par. 17th uphill, 150 yards ish. Again, chippy 7 wood this one's going to be. Normally I hit a full 9 wood here and try and get to the back of the green. It's very deceptive because it's very uphill, this hole. The camera I don't think quite does it justice. Gap wedge. And what this camera angle perhaps doesn't really show, and I hope it shows in this particular shot here, is just how downhill it is from the flag to the back of the green. So trying to go too far with that initial chip would have perhaps given us a bit more of a problem. So we take a bogey anyway, and we move on to the last hole of the vlog and this 3 club challenge. And unfortunately I thought I was going to hit a cut here, close the club face, come across it, bit of a double cross, and ends up going out way left in the rough, about 250 to the pin, and we sky this 7 wood. And yeah, not a bad shot really, to be honest, considering the lie we were in. Luckily though, because that popped up high in the air, we've now got a really good lie here, and we're going to hit another 7 wood. Do flare it down the left hand side, but we got the yardage out of it. That was the main thing. Left ourselves with this tricky chip here with the gap wedge. Again, normally be a 56, so you're just trying to imagine what the distance control difference is. And I really thought that I'd hit this well when it first come off the club, but it just had too much zip on it. Didn't stop on the green. Leaves us with this tricky one coming back, and again obviously gap wedge in hand. And you can't do much better than that. Leaves ourselves with a very short putt to take the Michael Doublé and round out the challenge with an 11 over 45. I don't think that was actually too bad, to be perfectly honest. 19 putts, which isn't too bad when you consider that I'm using a 7 wood. Obviously we had that 4 putt on hole 15, which kind of wrecked our putting stats. But aside from that, the putting wasn't too bad, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of shot making having to be made out there because obviously I was between clubs on a lot of occasions, but I'm relatively happy with that score. It was 16 Stableford points based on my 14.6 handicap. So overall, a really fun day. Nothing too serious. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future. And on that note, if you do want to see these kind of challenges, do let me know in the comment section. And we'll get out there and do these type of videos as well as the full course vlogs, which I have actually got another one in the editing suite from just a few weeks before this particular challenge. And I hope to get that out before the new year.